Hello, welcome to the Random Car channel. Today we're going to attempt to repair the cracked carbon fiber on my steering wheel. So a quick disclaimer is that I have no idea what I'm doing. I never worked with carbon fiber anything or made carbon fiber. So we'll see how this goes. I believe this is pretty common in 996 Porsches with the carbon fiber package, where over time the carbon fiber cracks. Not sure if you can see it, but there are cracks all along the carbon fiber portion of the steering wheel. It looks like the cracks are in the epoxy resin around the carbon fiber and not the carbon fiber itself. So I'm hoping to be able to repair these cracks with either some sanding or putting a fresh coat of epoxy resin on top. We'll see. So this is an attempt. It could go three ways. Either it's going to look better, which may not happen. It could look worse after whatever I do to it, or it could look the same. So we'll see. So I'm going to probably pick out a piece of this carbon fiber and just work on a small section of it and see what kind of results I can get. So first up, I'm going to try sanding this down. It looks like this is the other thing I'm hoping is with the fresh epoxy, maybe it'll fill the cracks. Just maybe. But I'm going to experiment and see where I can go with that. So like I said, step one, let's try some sanding. So I'm going to take some pretty coarse grit sandpaper and see what happens. Before sanding, I'm going to tape off the leather part so that way I don't sand on the leather portion and just only sand the carbon fiber. Okay, so masking is done. That's the easy part. Now let's try some sanding. Okay, so I'm going to give 400 grit a try. Okay, so here's 400 grit, and you can see the original cracks. So next I'm going to give 1200 a try. Okay, so this is what it looks like after 1200. It becomes a little clearer, and the cracks are definitely clear too. Okay, so you can see the cracks easily, but okay, let me try going to a higher grit. Alright, I got 3000, so this is the highest grit I got. Let's see what happens. Okay, so no success in that, not surprising. So next, what I'm going to try is scuff it back up again, toss on a layer of epoxy on it. I don't know if you could see, but there's some openings in these cracks here, and I'm hoping it'll fill into these cracks, and then I could, I don't know, fill the crack inside. Probably not, but I'm gonna give it a try. Rather, I think, the only solution is replace the whole steering wheel, or sanding it down to the fiber or very close to the carbon fiber, and just layering up a whole fresh resin. But I think that's pretty insane if I were to try that. So okay, let me scuff it back down and toss in a layer of epoxy. So this is stuff I got off of I think Amazon. So I got this resin mix. So I'm going to mix this into a disposable cup. Here's my measuring cup. So basically Whatever you use, make sure it's disposable. I just found this random cup at home, so that's how I'm going to mix it. In this case, it's going to be a 1-to-1 mixture of resin and hardener. And then I'm going to use this foam brush to brush it on. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so here's the steering wheel with the scuff. Got a box here just in case of any drips. I don't want it all over the place. After all, this is epoxy resin, so this will dry hard or cure pretty hard, so you don't want it in your carpet and curing in there. Let's see. Okay, so it's about an hour now. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not sure how much it has cured yet, but looking at it now, I gotta say, I could see the cracks in there, but it is harder to see the cracks. So for me, this might be actually good enough. Okay, just showing you what it looks like when it's wet sanded. You can see this white residue, and that's, you know, probably all the you know, the little particles of resin that's being sanded. So you know, taking a wet towel, wiping it down. Okay, so a side note, the best way, so what I discovered in sanding is that you should do a 600 grit, then a 1000 grit wet sand, and then 3000 wet sand, and then go on to polish. It's coming along very hazy. We'll go to 3000 grit, and it should be a lighter haze, and then after that I would have to polish. So let's do 3000 grit next. Okay, so this is after the 3000 grit sanding. Go ahead and get some cutting compound and get a probably a microfiber or a polishing pad, and just start polishing this and see what we get. I'm going to use this Meguiar's Ultra Cut Compound Extra Heavy Cut 105, and this polishing pad. I'm going to end up destroying it, but that's okay. And just, you know, get some cutting compound, put on here, and start polishing away. You know, looking at this, I probably should get one of those, you know, probably what would work better is one of those headlight restoration kits. They come with a little ball that you can stick on the drill and polish all the way across. So that would probably be the easier way of doing it. I'm going to do it the hard way by doing it by hand. So I feel like, yeah, those drill attachments would be the best way to go. So if you have one of those, try it. Put your comments below if it works for you. So I'm going to use this other stuff. I don't know. I'm guessing this is a lighter cut compared to the other one, but whatever. You know, these are probably safer, so that means it's probably a lighter cut. That's my guess. So yeah, I'm going to use this with the same pad. Yeah, we'll just get on that. Okay, so done with the last polish. I think it looks good enough. Not perfect, not like a new car or anything, but I gotta say it looks better than what it did before. You know, there are areas I could have done a better job, like down in this corner here. Probably could polish a little better there. There are fine scratches I could see when I put the light up to it and get the right angle. I'll see it, but whatever. It's better than a cracked up steering wheel. You know, so this gets you a little closer to nicer than what it was. Yeah, I think you can just have to if you want a better results, just gotta spend a lot more time doing the sanding, the fine grits and so forth, and getting it to that level if you want. So it's really depends how much time you want to put into making it as close to perfect as possible. Thanks for watching. That was fixing the cracks on the Thanks for watching. That was fixing the cracks on the carbon fiber portion of your Alright, thanks for watching. That was the fixing the cracks on the carbon fiber steering wheel in a 996 Porsche. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and leave any questions in the comments below.